This video is for showing how to install the Google Forms add-on named Data Director. First, you'll need to find Data Director in the add-ons store. Search Add-ons, Data Director. Once you've found Data Director, click the Free button. Authorization required. A script attached to this document needs your permission to run. Click Continue. This is the client ID for the Google Forms add-on Data Director. To install Data Director, choose an account. Data Director wants to access your Google account. This will allow Data Director to view and manage Google Drive files and folders that you have opened or created with this app. What this means is that Data Director can view files that you have picked with the Google File Picker. Data Director can create spreadsheet files, PDF files, and text files. You can also pick which spreadsheet you want Data Director to save your Google Form answers to. So when you choose a Google spreadsheet, you will use the Google File Picker. Because of the spreadsheet permission and the calendar permission, the add-on can access spreadsheet files and calendar files, but other than that, it cannot access any files or folders that were not picked with the Google Picker. It's a restrictive permission. The next permission asked for is see, edit, create, and delete your spreadsheets in Google Drive. This is needed for the data splitter. The data splitter can take Google Form answers and save those answers to different spreadsheet files. Data Director will never delete a spreadsheet. It can create a spreadsheet if you set up the settings such that under certain conditions the spreadsheet will be created. The only way that Data Director will ever edit a spreadsheet is by sending form answers to the Google spreadsheet. So Data Director only saves form answers to the Google spreadsheet. Other than that, it doesn't do anything to edit your spreadsheet file. The next permission asked for is see, edit, share, and permanently delete all the calendars you can access using Google Calendar. Obviously, this is a very broad permission. Currently, Google does not provide a permission that is more restricted. All that Data Director does is create events in your Google Calendar. Data Director will never delete a calendar. It will never share a calendar. All it will ever do is to create an event or add a guest to a calendar event. The next permission asked for is view and manage forms that this application has been installed in. Obviously, Data Director needs to be able to get the answers out of the form that was submitted. So that's what this permission is for. Data Director can only access Google Forms that this add-on application, when you see application, that means this add-on. So Data Director can only view and access Google Forms that this add-on has been installed in. Even though the word used is manage, the add-on doesn't manage any Google Forms. All it does is get the answers out of the form so that the answers can be merged into an email or put into a spreadsheet or put into a PDF file. The next permission asked for is connect to an external service. This makes an HTTPS request to a web app that I own. It does that in two situations. It sends a welcome email when the add-on is installed, and if there is an error, it will send the error message to me. The next permission asked for is send email as you. This is the only email permission asked for, and all it can do is send an email. When a Google form is submitted, the Data Director add-on can send an email. That's all it can do. It cannot read your emails. It cannot delete your emails. It cannot view your emails. It cannot do anything with your email. It cannot change settings in your email. All it can do is send an email. The next permission asked for is allow this application to run when you are not present. All this means is that when a Google form is submitted, you are not present. Someone fills out your Google form and they click the submit button and the add-on runs. The user has the Google form open, but you're not there, you're not present. That's all that means. This permission is needed so that when a Google form is submitted, the add-on can take the form answers and put them in an email, PDF file, send the data to a spreadsheet. This permission is for what is called an on-form submit trigger. When the form is submitted, a function is triggered. When the form is submitted, code runs. The next permission asked for is display and run third-party web content in prompts and sidebars inside Google applications. This is for the user interface. This is for being able to show sidebars and dialog boxes so that you can make settings. That's all this is for. In order for Data Director to work correctly, you need to make settings and save them. In order to be able to make settings and save them, you need to fill out the settings in a dialog box. That's what this is. If you want information on the permission asked for, you can click the I button. Make sure that you trust Data Director. So if you want to install Data Director, click the Allow button. As soon as you click Allow, Data Director will be installed and you will get a new email, a welcome email. You will also get a security alert. Data Director for Forms was granted access to your Google account. If you want to remove the permissions for Data Director, you can go into your account and remove access. To remove access, go to your Google account. Click Secure Account. Click Third-Party Access. Find Data Director and click Remove Access. You approved Data Director. You approved a permission to make external requests. External request is used to make a request my web app, and the web app sends you an email from my account. This is the welcome email. Thank you for installing Data Director. It has a link to the privacy policy and terms of service. One of the permissions that you approved was to display and run third-party content. What that allows is for sidebar and dialog boxes to be displayed. Make settings in Data Director. Click the add-ons icon. Click Data Director. Click Settings and Info. You will be prompted with a message. Turn on. This is the main on-off button that determines whether the add-on runs when a Google form is submitted. Click the on part of the button. After you have installed Data Director, click the puzzle icon for add-ons. Click Data Director. A menu will appear. The menu items are Settings and Info, Report an Issue, About, Authorization, Fixes for Problems, Help. All of these choices will either open a sidebar or a dialog box. Settings and Info will open a sidebar. Report an Issue, About, Authorization, Fixes for Problems, and Help will open a dialog box. When you authorized the permission for sidebars and prompts, this is what that permission covers: opening sidebars and dialog. Open the sidebar for settings and info. The add-on will initially be off. You will get a message. Turn on, then set choices in the feature categories needed. Red is off. This is the add-on state. The add-on state determines what happens when a user submits a form. This is the add-on state. The add-on state determines whether there is an on-form submit trigger installed or not. When the add-on is off and the button is red, there is no on-form submit trigger. To create an on-form submit trigger, click the right side of the button. It will turn green and create an on-form submit trigger. Add-on state. This add-on is now on. An on-form submit trigger was just created. The on-form submit trigger causes the add-on to run when a user of your Google form fills it out and clicks Submit. This is for the permission that you authorized for the add-on to run when you are not present. The sidebar is the main place to navigate to all the features for Data Director. Data Splitter will save form answers to spreadsheets. The email settings will set Data Director up so that an email is sent when the form is submitted. Calendar settings are for creating a calendar event in one or more calendars when the form is submitted. PDF definition is for creating a PDF file from the form answers when a form is submitted. Settings and utilities cover your user settings, general user settings for the add-on. The official website can be opened by clicking Official Website. For other add-ons, click the Other Add-ons button. This lists other add-ons that I have created. For help, Click the Help button. Help for Data Director describes the elements of the sidebar. The add-on is now on. When a form is submitted, the add-on will run. Let's go to the official website, ajaddons.com. To read the privacy policy, terms of use, and an explanation of the permissions, click one of these menu items. This is the privacy policy for Data Director. The data splitter will cause the add-on to save form answers to one or more different spreadsheets, depending upon conditions that you set up. Let's open the data splitter settings. There are tabs for Basic 1 and Basic 2 and Advanced Split. For help, click the Help button. This describes the advanced data splitting. The advanced data split feature can save form data to many different spreadsheets. You can choose whether form answers get saved to a spreadsheet or not, depending upon how a form question is answered. Each tab has its own on-off button. The add-on state, in general, can be on, and a particular feature can either be on or off. When you authorized the permission for spreadsheets, it was for the data splitter. The permission that you gave for spreadsheets is for the data splitter to save form answers to one or more different spreadsheets. You can choose a spreadsheet from your Google Drive. Pick existing spreadsheet. When you installed Data Director, you accepted a permission to see, edit, share, and permanently delete all calendars that you can access. First of all, Data Director will never delete a calendar. It will never share a calendar. It will add a calendar event to a calendar that you choose. It can also add a guest, but other than adding an event or adding a guest, Data Director won't do anything else to your calendars. I'll show you how to set up the calendar settings and create a calendar event. Click Calendar Settings in the sidebar. A dialog box will open. Turn the button on. Click Calendar Targets section. You can choose a calendar. You can add multiple calendars. This is the Static Targets section. In the Static Targets section, these calendars that you've chosen will always get a new event. There is also a section that will only add a calendar event based on a condition. Choose a question in the form. There's a question called name. I'm going to set up a condition that will test. Every time the form is submitted, it will make a test. If the question name has an answer that contains Alan, it will create an event in my calendar. You can add multiple conditions and multiple different calendars. I've just added 3 rows. I'm going to click on the middle row, which is now the current row. It's highlighted, and click Delete Current. Now I'll delete the last row. Delete Last. The start date is required. I've got a question named Date. That's where the start date will come from. The end date is optional. It's only needed for multi-day events. I don't have an end date, so I'm not going to make a choice here. You can also choose a location. That's the location where the event will be. That needs to come from the form. Start time. I don't have a question in the form for the start time, but if you did, you'd choose it here. End time and guests. All these choices must come from an answer on the form. This setting is for the event title. Appointment. Event description. Your appointment on, and I'm going to add a merge field. Date. Add fields to description. This is the merge field. The date from the form will be put into the event description. If this is an all-day event, you can choose to create all-day events, and you can choose how to create multi-day events. I'm going to uncheck this. Scheduling settings. You can check for duplicate event times and dates. This is optional. Email settings. You can have an email sent when the calendar event is created. That's optional. I'm not going to set that up. I'm just giving you an example of how the add-on creates a calendar event. When you are done, click Save. You'll get a message saying the settings were saved. Now let's submit the form and see if the calendar event gets created. Name, Alan. Date, July 22nd. Submit. Now we'll go to the calendar and see if an event has been created. You can see the appointment was just created. Data Director can also add a guest to a calendar event. Open up the calendar settings, click the Add Guest tab. Turn the button on. Click Set Calendar Event. Choose a calendar. Enter the date of the event. Select an event. This is an existing event. When you have chosen an event, the calendar name, calendar date, event name, and event time will be put into the Pending Changes column. Now choose a question from the form with the email address for the guest to add to the event. I'm going to choose collected email. As an option, you can send an email to the address that will be used as the guest. When you're done, click the Save button. You will get a message saying that the settings were saved. The settings were moved from Pending Changes column to the Current Settings column. The settings are now the current settings. That's what you need to do to have a guest saved to an existing event. One of the permissions that you authorized was making an external request. That external request is used to send error messages to me. By default, error messages are sent to the developer. There is a checkbox here to send error information to the developer. That is checked by default. You can uncheck this. The setting will be saved and no external request will be made. You can click Settings and Utilities from the sidebar. Open the Settings and Utilities dialog. Go to the Errors tab and uncheck Send Error Information to Developer if you don't want an external request to be made.